right. You want to start? I'll start the majority of times.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it. Good enough.
You can pick it up this time, surely.
It's going to sound fake and horrible.
Learned a thing or two from me over the past year.
We need to get like a professional way we introduce the episode.
Yeah, but it can't be that repetitive or else it will sound fake, just like
Yeah, but I mean, it needs to be like, here's the title, here's who we are, this is what we're doing. Instead of like, welcome.
I like that better. So, as he just said, welcome. We are the Chatmen. My name is Phil Burdell.
Whoa, last names.
Whoa.
I'm Truman. That's it. That's all you get to know.
Reed.
Was...
Okay. And today, we're going to be doing a little bit something different. A little bit something different.
A little bit something different. See, Phil was like, hey, I got this idea.
This time. Yes.
It's like, instead of trying to figure out something to talk about, let's give ourselves something to discuss. So, Phil, what'd you tell me to do?
Well, I said, why don't you just get a list of 10 movies from all spectrums.
And we're going to watch all of them?
No.
And discuss them scene by scene?
No.
Okay, well.
I pick one of the things on your list, and then we discuss that, and anything that I think is good, we'll move that to the next list, and for future possibilities. And there were only 3 on that list that I felt were worthy of future possibilities, and 1 on that list that we're going to watch right now.
So, basically, we're going to do a first impression, what we, we're going to enjoy it, whatever.
Right, this is a movie neither of us have seen yet.
Then we're going to watch the movie.
And that's not going to be on the show. We're going to watch that
during the intermission. There's going to be an hour and 35 minutes of silence. And it's going to be time for you to watch with us.
Yeah. Or what you could do is you can pause the episode at the intermission and then watch it for yourself. And then come back and listen to us. But I feel like none of you, if you guys are spending an hour listening to us ramble, you're probably not going to get another hour out of your life to watch a movie. But you could, if you like us that much.
But then we're going to watch the movie, take little notes, and then we're going to, share our impressions, our emotions, our feelings, our expressions of the movie.
Yeah, very personal, just how we felt grown, how the characters have grown on us. That's what I meant. The connections that we've had with each of the characters and how we. So to this time we picked Dredd, and its description is: in a catastrophic future, the remaining population is crowded into megacities where all-powerful and ultraviolet. I was almost said ultraviolet. Ultraviolet cops are hunting for terrorists.
Good job.
In the first paragraph of the plot, because we don't want to spoil anything for ourselves, on Wikipedia, it says the future United States is a dystopic irradiated wasteland known as Cursed Earth. On the East Coast lies Megacity 1, a violent metropolis with 800 million residents and 17,000 crimes reported daily. That sounds like a lot. That's a lot.
A very lot of crimes.
A very lot of crimes. There, an addictive new drug called slow-mo has been introduced, which slows the user's perception of time to 1% of normal. Wow.
That's pretty slow.
Yeah, that's like the first episode of Cowboy Bebop, if I remember that correctly. You remember that, where they like inject things in their eyes or something?
Oh, yeah,
like eye drops or something?
I've kind of forgotten the first episode a lot.
Yeah. I just remember that because I showed that to my dad and he fell asleep. And I just remember that very soon. I was like, come on, look how cool this is. And he just lost. But, yeah.
Well, see, Phil, that was the one way to describe this movie. I've got another tag summary
Hold
for this
on.
movie.
I'm halfway through this paragraph.
Halfway done.
The only force for order are the judges who act as judge, jury, and executioner. Oh, the Judge Dredd, in specificular, he's the titular character in this movie. That's a movie that means this is the guy whose name is in the title of the movie.
Good
is
job.
tasked by the chief judge with evaluating new recruit Cassandra Anderson, a powerful psychic who failed the aptitude tests to be a judge. Wow.
So
Okay. I didn't know there were psychics in this movie. That's
I
a
didn't.
thing.
That was because I know this is a remake of a '95 movie, which my dad likes a lot. I didn't know there was a psychic.
Neither
in
did
this.
I.
I thought it was
That's
just.
very not sci-fi. Well, actually, I don't know if it is or not. That's
Thought it
like
was
kind
just
of borderline.
chaotic, neutral cop with a cool visor. Apparently, it's Crazy Town.
Yeah. But before it got to the psychic part, it sounded a lot like Fallout 3, which is why I was like, woo! Count me in for this one. Screw those other 3. Those are going on the other, because we narrowed it down to 4 choices out of the 10, and we were like, nope. This one's maybe. But this one, my gosh, once it said, quote, dystopic irradiated wasteland known as Cursed Earth, I was like, whoa, count me in for that. Now Truman has another description which kind of summarizes the plot.
Well, it's the one it's the hook. This is the one you'd read to be like, yeah, I'd go see that in theaters. But I'd read this before. I think I didn't see it in theaters because it's expensive. But
theaters are too much money. How are you gonna buy a whole theater to watch one movie?
I know.
It's too expensive. But yeah, go on.
I was thinking about trying to do an in a world voice for this, but I don't know if I can keep it up without fumbling through.
Yeah, I can't do that right now.
In a violent, futuristic city. Okay, I'm done. Where the police? All right. In a violent, futuristic city.
Come on.
Where the police have authority to act as judge, jury, and executioner. A cop teams with a trainee to take down a gang that deals the reality-altering drug. Slow-mo. All caps.
And the trainee is psychic also. They've kind of forgot to add that part in there.
Mm-hmm. Now, this movie looks very action-packed, and I'm excited for that. It also looks very red. Red and black seem to be the only colors I've seen of this movie.
Yeah, like Sparta. 300.
Only that movie is sepia-toned all over the place.
It's brown, red, and black. Excuse me.
Ew.
And white. A little bit of white. I don't actually.
But, I've been wanting to watch this for a while. So, Phil, you ready to start this film up?
I'm ready to start this film up because I am feeling quite hungry, not full.
Now, we did pick movies that are available on Netflix, so if you guys want to, watch it, and you got Netflix, you don't have to go pick it up anywhere, you can just plug it. So, Phil, do you have your Netflix pulled up with Dredd?
Yes.
Okay.
Play is right there. I think
what we'll do is me and you will sync our play, and we'll count it down so the audience can also hit play at the same time.
Aren't we gonna stop recording for
That's behind the scenes.
Oh.
I'm gonna fade in the music.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's rated R? Cool.
Yeah, it's rated R. Cool. R for ready to get this watched.
Ready to get this watched.
You got G for
make sure.
Let's watch the movie. PG for pretty great. Let's watch this movie.
PG-13 for pretty great if you're 13. Watch it.
I was gonna say T for teen, but
T for
time to watch this movie. And
X for expect me not to watch this movie because that's just too hardcore for me.
I'm a baby.
But rated R is fine because I'm 20, and that should be good enough. Because that's the legal age, I think.
All right, Phil. So let's go to Cinema Town. Let's watch Dredd. You ready?
And you too, audience.
Yeah, audience.
Pause this video right freaking now, and then watch yourself some Dredd, and then once you're done with that, come back here and we'll discuss it with you, even though we can't hear what you say in the future on another computer. But here we go.
All right. Ready for this, Phil?
3. You gotta say 2.
Okay.
1.
You do 3, I'll do 2, and then we'll do 1 together.
I already clicked play, man.
Oh, shh. All right, so listeners out there, we just finished our movie.
Yes. And let me tell you, I absolutely dreaded it.
Ah!
Oh,
that was
my
actually pretty
God.
good. I enjoyed that. Caught me off
Thanks,
guard.
man.
I thought you were going to say hated, but you said dreaded, so...
Yeah, because it's just it's Dredd, man. That's the title of the movie. I am proud of myself.
Okay, so, Phil, I know you weren't keeping notes, but I made some notes. So I want to just go through them, and
All
maybe we can just talk about them a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So these are just my thoughts while I was watching the movie. First of all, at the beginning of the movie, the slow-mo drug that they take. Oh, we should probably say spoilers if you guys didn't decide to watch the free movie on Netflix.
But here's the good news. I'm gonna tell you straight up, it was fucking awful.
I loved it. I didn't love it, but I thought it was pretty good. But we'll get to our ratings in a little bit, Phil.
Okay.
I don't think it's a flawless movie.
It's certainly not.
But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
In fact, I would say it's quite the flawful movie.
It's
fucking awful.
Full awful.
Fucking awful.
Okay, so here's at the beginning. So they got this slow-mo drug. At first 10, 15 minutes, it was slow-mo drug like all the time. And there's this crazy slow-mo effect.
Yeah,
and I was like, I was just thinking they're gonna use this effect the entire movie. It's just like, look.
They didn't as much as I was expecting.
Yeah, it was like there was one cool novelty scene where they used the slow-mo effect to show like bullets going through people, and that was really cool. And then they were like,
through the guy's teeth. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Then they were like, okay, we got our nice cool shot. We're not gonna use that effect anymore because it's really distracting.
Correct.
So I was glad about that. That was a very pleasant surprise to find out they didn't just overdo this movie with that slow-mo effect. I pointed out that Rookie Anderson is reverse Magneto from X-Men.
Correct.
Because she has psychic powers and she's a mutant. Let me say about mutants real quick. There were 2 sentences talking about mutants in this movie.
Both of them.
I wanted to know more about mutants. It's like, so you're one of those mutants. Most of y'all got 3 arms and no arms.
Or
looks like you came out all right. And that was it.
That was one of the sentences, and then the other one, like the other times, they were just like, so you're a psychic, huh? Cool.
No more talk of mutants, but it's
none.
Everybody knows they exist. Yet
apparently, and she was the only one in the film.
They didn't come up in conversation.
There was no other mutants.
I feel like
they cheated us.
Not that I necessarily needed to see another mutant on screen. I just wish they would have developed. I don't know.
There could have been a mutant that showed up with 3 arms or no arms. since they said that, they're like, oh, mutants, yeah, they're all over the place. There's no mutants in the film, so it's like, oh, okay.
That was purely exposition just to say it's okay that she's a mutant.
Because they're a thing.
She has psychic abilities, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It exists.
Yeah. Like the first of the movie, they're just like, there's a psychic chick. And
then later, this other guy's like, yeah, psychics exist.
I know about them, but normally they're ugly. Now, you're not ugly.
I just wish they would have expanded on the whole mutant thing, because apparently it's an issue. It's a big enough. It's people talk about it.
Because everything's radiated. Also, the review that I read suggested that it was going to be Fallout-esque because it said a dystopian place with like mostly wasteland or whatever. There's no wasteland in this film, but they said where populations have concentrated into mega cities or whatever. That part they did show, but they also had wasteland in it. So if you're going by the Wikipedia article that's talking about what this film is all about, don't pay attention to the first half of that.
Is just as soon as Phil found out this was not Fallout 3 the movie, he's like, I'm done with this movie.
It said Washington D.C. and everything. I was like, Fallout 3. Whoa, I'm gonna love this. And we watched it, and there's like no mutants, no wasteland,
movie.
No radiation, even though they freaking brought it up several times. Mutants.
It's a sci-fi cop movie, Phil. That's what it is.
I don't like cop movies.
Okay, so next point I have on my notes.
Go ahead.
All the promotional material in the trailers, I thought this movie was going to be very, just grungy black and red. I thought that was going to be like the color palette for the movie. But there was surprisingly a lot of neon oranges and greens and yellows. So I found that very pleasant. That it wasn't just red and black, because red and black would have been really boring to watch for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
They spiced that up. Good job. Good job, guys.
Yeah. Actually, they didn't spice it up from the posters. They dulled the posters down from the movie to make it look cool.
Crank those levels down.
Yeah, that's too much for the audience to handle.
So, here's the thing. There's a villain in this movie, but I don't give a shit about her.
Yeah.
She was Mama of the Mama Gang.
The Mama Clan. They were a gang, but I think they called it the Mama Clan. Mm-hmm. And her name was like, what, Madeline Margaret or something?
Something like that. Both first and last names started with M.A., so she goes by Mama.
Yeah.
She was not
cute.
She was not a threatening villain at all.
She was ugly, and she was disgusting, or like she was into some weird stuff, throwing people off balconies and letting their heads squash on the ground. But she was definitely herself, not as frightening as the men who were surrounding her.
The moment I realized that I did not care at all about the main villain was when they introduced there's like a surveillance guy. She has kept him against his will. Yeah, excuse me. I kept her against her will. You're gonna stay here, and I want you to go, but I can't let you. No, there's this guy in a yellow shirt, and I called him yellow shirt guy. Yeah, but we also called the black guy the yellow shirt guy. We also called him black guy. Yeah. Whenever this guy wasn't the villain, he was a guy who was held there against his will. He was way more interesting of a character than the main villain. Like, I wanted to know about him and what he was thinking and his story. They showed a split second of his backstory, and it turns out she gouged out his eyes. Put these crazy apparently later on she replaced him with robot eyes. They didn't show that. They just showed. But he was a cool character. I enjoyed him a lot, and kind of, except you don't know anything about him. Just he's a surveillance guy. When he was on screen, I felt his emotions. He was very threatened. Yeah. And scared. Yeah. And he actually emoted rather than just blandy mama just standing around. I'm Mr. Evil. Dredd. Well, Dredd's a different story. Let me tell you something about Dredd. You see the bottom, just like the bottom halves of his nostrils down, just a section of his face, like the square of his jaw. And it goes up to the bottom of his nostrils, and the entire time he just has a disgusted scowl on his face throughout the entire movie. Yeah. That's it. That's his only expression. You never see him smile. You never see him laugh. Well, I guess you never see him smile except they're on drugs. But Phil and I have varied opinions on Dredd as a character because we were discussing like whether or not we wanted to see his face at all. Yeah. I wanted to see his face because I wanted him to actually be a character. But Truman says that he's a pillar of, what's it, absolute justice? What's it? He's absolute justice. He only cares about doing what is by law the correct thing to do. I don't think he needed to be a character. I'm glad you never see his face. Well, you see the scowl.
And I'll tell you something. For a movie that is solely based around this
Well, it's
object.
not solely based around him.
Okay. The psychic chick, who's, just hanging around him all the time, and he's just doing whatever. I don't know. It'd be cool if... What did she say at the very beginning of the movie? She was like, I see a sense of purpose or whatever, and behind that, I see... And she's like, that's enough. And so it's like, oh, wow, so Dredd had something...
Didn't need it. For all I care...
The beginning of the movie...
For all I care, he was born with that helmet on. He just came out of the womb scowling.
Yeah.
That was it. Until he dies, he's going to be scowling, wearing that helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Oh, God, this movie sucked so bad. So bad.
I disagree. Okay, next point.
Okay.
Unless you have something you want to say.
The black guy with the yellow shirt.
Oh, I thought my next bullet point was black guy is cool. That was what I wrote.
He was. And then he kind of... Okay, so he's, a bad guy at the very beginning of the movie or whatever, and he skinned some victim or whatever that the cop or the judge and the psychic chick are looking for. And she knows that it's him because she's psychic, and she's like, it's him. He's like, how sure are you? She's like, 99%. He's like, you can't judge a person based on 99%. You got to be 100%. So they take him in instead of killing him. And they have him handcuffed to them the entire movie, and the entire time, when he's like, oh crap, it's me. He has a sense like he almost looks guilty, and he looks like he has a sense of regret almost on his face.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's like, wow, he might just turn his life around by the end of the movie. He doesn't. He absolutely does not. He goes right back to his old evil ways at the very beginning or the end of the movie, and
there was 30 minutes of, oh, he's a good guy now. He's a good guy. And then, nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
But he's a pretty cool character. I told Phil, if this was a different movie, he'd be like the comic relief black guy that is just in movies. He'd be like Chris Rock.
Yeah, or the guy in, what's that movie, Deep Blue Sea? What the heck?
I don't know what that movie is.
Okay, well, there is a comic relief black guy in Deep Blue Sea who has a parrot who gets eaten by the shark at one point.
Oh.
We should watch that movie on Netflix next. Just kidding. I've already seen that movie, so it won't work.
All right. So black guy is cool. That's a thing. Look out for black guy. He's pretty neat. Next thing I had, Anderson, the psychic. We were discussing whether or not she's attractive, and I noticed something. She's got a beauty mark on her lip.
And by beauty mark, he means hideous mole.
Well, it's a beauty mark. That's what moles on the face lip area are.
Okay.
But I swear, 90+% of the shots of her face,
with the left side.
The left side with the beauty mark is lit, and the other side is dark. Or her hair is on the dark side of her head, and then that just makes your eyes just drawn right to that spot on her face.
Lip, yeah.
And it's really distracting.
Yeah. She's covered in makeup too. I feel like, that stuff was caked on there. It was cake up, is what it was. I already made that pun when we were watching the movie.
You did.
But anyway, it looked as though, it was hard for us to tell whether she was pretty or not because of that. And also she had drawn on black eyebrows and light blonde hair. Truman mentioned that.
I don't think they were drawn on. They were just bushy and black and black. They were very black eyebrows.
Truman had a problem with that. I didn't. But
very blonde hair.
Makeup. Yeah.
And it was distracting. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there were shots where she looked like she was wearing a wig or something. But, that's no big deal. She wasn't much of a character anyway, so I didn't feel anything for her.
No. I feel like the
Okay,
only character was like yellow shirt robo eyes
scared yellow shirt computerized guy.
and black guy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
He
Yeah,
was quite the actor. The acting was of an actor because we thought he was good.
acting like an actor.
hmm
Acting.
Um.
Any more notes?
Well, the next one I had were scowls and scowls and scowls.
Yep,
I
that's it.
liked them a lot.
Yep, they were absolutely dreadful. Because it's not like I haven't made that pun before.
I wish I had like a timer going for how long me and Phil would scowl at each other
Yep.
while watching this movie
Yeah.
because
And
it
we're
was
not
just,
even sitting next to each other. We just had Skype on, and
it
we,
was just
put
infectious.
Netflix up, and we would rise up to the point where the webcam is cutting off, right above our nostrils, and then we just scowl at each other and wait for the other person to notice us. And it's pretty good. I might upload something on the Chatmen page of me scowling. Let's do that, Truman. You and me, we'll just on our Facebook Chatmen page, we'll upload pictures of us
Yeah.
with just the scowls.
Yeah. So, Phil, I have an idea.
All right.
I've got Rotten Tomatoes pulled up on the Dredd,
Yeah.
and I'm going to read a couple of good reviews and a couple of bad reviews.
Okay. Let's
And we'll
hear
see if
let's
we
hear the
agree with
bad
them.
reviews.
Bad ones first. Proves to be a surprisingly unimaginative cops versus drug lords story,
That is.
complete with the weathered veteran forced to take a rookie under his wing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That hits the hammer on the head.
Um,
Hammers the nail in the person's head because this movie's violent. Next.
we have seen this kind of future before, and not only does it not work, it no longer surprises us.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know about that one. I don't care. I don't. We've seen this kind of future before. Is it talking about? Is they talking about RoboCop?
No, they're just talking about like the gritty future where the government's losing control on the rioting and the criminals. Yeah. The criminals are starting to take all the power.
And the government are the good guys.
And the cops are crooked. There's some crooked cops.
There's a couple crooked cops. Couple.
This here's a bad review that says, my notes are as follows: shoot bad guy, shoot bad guy, shoot bad guy. If you threw a scowl in there, I would agree a little bit.
Yeah. Let's hear the good reviews, Truman.
I'm looking for a good review.
Good review. Okay. Are all the good reviews bad?
No, I just one that would work for us doing this show.
Okay. Well, there are none. Tune in next time. I'm just kidding. End of episode.
Dredd is like a gun. Not everyone likes them, and they're only good for one thing. But they do that one thing really, really well.
Oh, and what's that exactly? Bore me to fucking tears.
You said yes. Right there, not everybody's gonna like this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But
they did a very good job.
It knows what it is, and it does it. It's just
except, I don't know. I've seen. I feel like I've seen movies violenter than this.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Elysium. Have you seen that movie?
I've not seen that one.
I think that one is a little bit more violent. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah. I'm pretty sure.
This movie's violent, but like the tone of the violence is different. It's like never once did I watch the violent things and not like some part of me is like, yeah, that guy just got shot or that guy's head got smashed.
Are you saying that did happen or that didn't happen?
That did not. Now, when I watch a movie, let's say Watchmen, there's some really graphic scenes, and I see Night Owl snap a guy's elbow in half, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so bad.
Yeah, but and And if you see Truman right now, you'd know that his fists are clenched and his shoulders are risen up, and he has this excited scowl on his face.
But no, this one
can be excited.
It's violent, but it's like really cool
Over
violence.
The top and, yeah, cool violence.
It's cool to watch
because it's not
cool
real.
Effects.
Because it's not real. Let's make a little disclaimer right here. Violence is cool if it's not real.
You also have to be under slow-mo drug effects.
Correct.
Okay, here's a
broken glass and falling on the pavement, because that's like the first and last death in this movie.
Here's a quote-unquote good review, but I don't necessarily agree with it. While not for the squeamish, Dredd is an effectively gritty B-movie, accentuated by stylish visuals and irreverent humor. Can't say that word. Irreverent humor.
What does irreverent mean? I don't know that word.
Let's look it up real quick.
Well,
I found very little humor in this movie.
I found no humor in this movie. The only humor that I found was making shitty puns about how bad it was. Using its title.
There's a couple times where Dredd did a one-liner, and I'm like, yeah.
Like the last line that he gets in the movie where he says, yeah.
Yeah.
he like shoves the main antagonist out the window. Like, okay. Here's ultra spoilers. Not that anyone cares, because you probably didn't watch this shitty movie. But she's like, you can't kill me. I have a detonator on my wrist right here and I called that, by the way. I knew it was a detonator before.
You did. I was really surprised by Phil's calling abilities.
Yeah, because that's the trope. Like if the bad guy is about to die at the end of the movie, they always have a detonator that'll blow the whole place up. So she's like, here on my wrist, I got a detonator. Once my heart stops, this whole building will be blown to smithereens, and all the innocents will be killed. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. And then he grabs, he grabs her, and then he's like, sorry, what is the diameter of that range you got there? He's like, if I was to throw you out this window and you fell all the way to the pavement, which is how she killed people in the first of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how do you think he'll be able to reach? And she's like not saying anything. So he's like, bingo, and he shoves her out the window. And before that, he makes her take the slow-mo drug so she gets to, experience the full effect of her falling to her death and being scared and stuff like she did to her victims.
Mm-hmm.
Right before she hits the ground, or actually I think it's when she hits the ground. And, it shows her slow-mo, just like blood flying everywhere. Or all over the pavement from below, as if she's hitting like a glass floor or something, because it shows... I don't know how to explain that. How do you explain that, Truman?
What? I'm sorry.
It's like... Okay. Very good, Truman.
I was reading reviews.
Okay. It's like she's hitting a glass floor, because it's showing from underneath her hitting the ground. And it's just blood just like pouring over the entire screen.
Yeah.
And then it shows him just like, almost a smile, just almost a smirk.
It's more of a grimace or a scowl.
Yes, yeah. Well, like he has a scowl the entire movie, but it's almost a smirk. Just like so close. And then he steps back a couple paces, and as he looks, directly at the camera, which I assume he is because he has that visor on, you can't really see his eyes. He just says, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the last fucking thing that he says. But yeah, anyway. That was the only thing that almost actually did make me laugh, because I said yeah.
You laughed yelling this movie is horrible.
Yes. I literally said right before he said yeah. I was like, he's probably saying something like, yeah. Like, I don't know. I was making fun of the way that he looked. And then he said it, and then I screamed, this movie is fucking awful. Oh god, this movie was bad. I'm glad I could laugh about it afterwards. Go on, Drew.
I found a humorous little thingy.
Okay, let's hear it.
I've always considered Dredd to be like a very American movie hero thingy. Like, I associate Dredd with America more than any other country. Do you know really? Dredd is from a British comic book?
No.
He was a British superhero.
Was it a superhero, please? Um, he was like a, he's just a cop, man. Anyway,
He was named the seventh greatest comic character by the British magazine Empire for British comics. Seventh greatest comic book character, Phil.
okay, so let me see. Um, how many comic book characters did Britain make?
8.
Oh, okay. Then shit. Then the eighth one must be the worst of all time.
I think IGN.
Guys, perhaps he did a little more than just scowl the entire movie in a comic in the comics
Well, Phil, IGN ranked him 35th in the top 100 comic book heroes
of all time.
of all time, all countries, I guess. It's not just Britain that time.
Okay, so let me just name off a few Marvel characters. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, Dredd. What the hell is he doing? Okay, like Marvel has a million comic book characters. DC has a million comic book characters. How does Dredd fall under number 37?
I don't know. I don't want to make...
I think IGN doesn't know.
Phil, your only thought about Dredd is last hour and 35 minutes. Maybe the comics are really good. I haven't read them.
Perhaps. But if they are really good...
People are saying... I'm reading these reviews. They're saying it's really close to the comic book source material.
So people need to read better comics?
Yeah. Like, Archie. Archie's a good comic.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like Beetle Bailey. Sunday morning papers. I really had to reach back into my memory in order to pull that one out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if this was actually... I don't know how well this actually did in theaters, because its budget is $4 million larger than what it made in box offices. So, yeah.
Okay. You said your dad really liked...
My dad likes the original.
That this was, remake of. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think the original one's going to be much better than this one?
I don't know, because I don't know how much nostalgia goes along with the first one.
Oh, damn.
But it's got Stallone in it. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I think, Truman mentioned that he thinks that that's who this character was just trying to impressionate.
Well, the first scowl I saw, I was like, that is a Sylvester Stallone jawline that we're looking at.
That's right.
Let me do some comparing real quick.
I'm gonna open up a window and...
Jeez.
What?
I'm looking up Judge Dredd. Its Rotten Tomato scores are way lower than this version.
For real?
Yeah. Dredd, the 2012 film that we just watched, Phil, gets a 78 for critics and a 72 from the audience. Judge Dredd from 1995 got an 18% from critics and a 30% from fans. And it has Rob Schneider in it.
And your dad really liked that movie?
My dad really likes it, but my dad also doesn't have the greatest taste in movies. But
how?
He likes it.
Oh my gosh. And they're okay. This movie reminded me a lot of RoboCop because it's just a man going around. He's not a robot, but he is a cop.
He is an emotional robot, Phil.
Is RoboCop really an emotional robot?
No, RoboCop's a robot. Judge Dredd is an emotional robot.
Oh, I gotcha.
He shows no emotion.
Yeah, okay.
He's a very yes-no person.
Yeah. Except the only time he says yeah is the very end of the movie when he kicks that girl out the window. Yeah. So fucking bad. Anyway, so they both have just, a mouth that is showing. They all just kind of walk around, straight, and they both ride motorcycles. And I don't know. But I thought this was going to be a lot like RoboCop. I don't know what RoboCop was like. I kind of forget when I was little.
I was thinking this was going to be like that thing that I don't remember what it's like. That's what you just said, Phil.
Precisely. I just realized that as I was saying it.
Yeah. I was just
So,
making sure, doubly sure that you knew.
but anyway, Truman, when I first brought this up, he's like, well, let's watch RoboCop in theaters.
I want to watch RoboCop in theaters.
Is that the next review?
I don't know. We'll see. Because I think it's easier to do Netflix because we don't have to meet up. But
we'd have to take ultra notes if we watch it in theaters.
Oh yeah.
And then people would be like, turn off your screens.
I'll be like, hang on, making notes for a podcast.
Yeah. I know.
All right, Phil. So now's your time to give me your overall consensus and rating for this movie.
All right. Okay. I've got Netflix open right now.
Yeah, we are actually going to rate this on Netflix right now.
Right. Okay. And I'm on my dad's account, so whether he likes this movie or not, he's gonna see. So we've got 3 stars, which is liked it, 4 stars, which is really liked it, 5 stars, which is loved it, 2 stars, which is didn't like it, and 1 star, which is hated it. Now let me tell you, after all the fun times that me and Truman had, looking at each other and laughing about all the ridiculousness of this movie, after just like all the jokes that we've made, all the puns and stuff, I feel like this has really led me to I don't know, I think that there is some value to this movie to me now, some emotional value. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate it 1 star, hated it because it was a fucking awful movie.
All right.
There you go, 1 star. I clicked it. As you can hear that, I could click. It's hated it right there. Hated it. Done.
All right. So now it's my turn, I guess.
Yes, this is your turn now.
Okay, here's what I think. I'm glad I didn't see this in theaters. I feel like that would have been a waste of $15. See a
Perhaps. Perhaps so.
Though I wouldn't be upset to have this one in my DVD collection.
But
if it was on sale, I would probably pick it up.
For how much exactly? Like 50 cents? No. Because that would be too much.
If it was a good DVD with some bonus features on it, I'd pay like $10 for it probably.
Yeah, bonus features, blooper reel with him smirking.
No, but
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that.
I enjoyed this movie, and I would probably to certain people I'd say you'd probably enjoy it. You should go watch it. If this isn't a movie I would just go up to everybody and be like, you have to watch Dredd. It's the best movie ever. Because that'd be a lie. It does have flaws.
You're goddamn right it'd be a lie, Truman.
But I don't know. I think if it happened to come on TV some Saturday afternoon, just watch it. Just watch it.
If your alternatives are involve fucking getting shoved out a 30-foot floor window onto a pavement and getting your eyes gouged out and replaced with computer eyes, then perhaps I would watch this movie again.
So main villain, 2 star max. Computer guy, 5 stars. I love that guy.
5 stars.
Judge Dredd,
I give him 4.
Judge Dredd, 3.5 stars.
I give him 1.
The character of Judge Dredd is 3.5 stars.
1 star.
Visually, I think this movie looks really cool. It's a cool looking movie.
Say 2 stars. 2.5
stars. 4.5 stars.
2.5.
2 harps. That's a
F minus.
So.
What about the psychic chick? You forgot about the psychic chick.
She's distracting. 2 stars.
I give her a 4 stars because she's hot.
Psychic girl, besides knowing that cool black guy was the bad guy, her psychic powers didn't really matter.
She was telepathic, and she's like, don't worry, we don't need to force the information out of him. I can just stare at him. And then in the meantime, Dredd is like, give me the fucking information now. And they're like, okay, I'll tell you. And she's like, wait a minute. You don't have to do that. And then he like punches him a 5th time, and she's like, I got the information right here. And it's just, she's pointless kind of, Yeah. I bet if Dredd was done because she ended up being a nuisance. Mm-hmm. But Dredd by himself would be a shitty movie.
But here's
I'm sorry. It was a shitty movie anyways. But go on.
Here's my issue, Phil. I would like to rate this 3.5 stars, a 70%, but Netflix won't allow that, so I'm gonna have to round up to a 4.
You should round down to a 3, my friend.
I'm just gonna
round down to a 2
4.
for that matter.
It's a 4. That's my opinion. Here we go. If you can hear me clicking, that's
yeah, we can definitely hear that.
I rated that 4 stars. Really liked it. Really liked it.
4 stars.
So
okay, so my friends, I invite you. See, Truman has that's basically an 80% that Truman gave it, and I gave it, the 20% that I could only give it because you can't give it a 0.
Phil, our average rating is a 2.5 for this movie, so.
I can't do math.
It's 2.5, Phil. It's 1 plus 4 divided by 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay. But if you take hated it and really liked it, added them together, divided by 2, what do you get then?
Really elated it.
There you go. Good job. And I give Truman's response to that 5 stars.
And Phil, I give our friendship 5 stars. 6 stars.
Dude, 6, come on, round that shit up to 100. 100 stars. Just so many stars. Sylvester Stallone, Will Smith, all the stars.
Where did Will Smith come from?
I couldn't think of another star in this movie, so I just had to pull
Cool
another
black
one
guy.
out of. I was like, well, there's that guy. But I was just thinking buddy cop, and I was like, what's a buddy cop? This wasn't even a buddy cop movie. It was a cop movie that I like. Men in Black. There you go. Will Smith.
So,
go on.
now that we've given our reviews, you listeners out there, you should take time, maybe watch this, but let us know what you think. Send us an email, chatmenshow@gmail.com. Post a comment on YouTube. I don't know, maybe post something on the Facebook page and maybe like it while you're at it.
Oh, yeah. We haven't got many likes since that one time that everybody said that they were going to like my page by liking my status about liking my page. Our page, sorry.
But if you give us some feedback about what you thought about this movie, we'd be more than happy to read it and let everybody know what you think.
Yeah. So if you really feel like watching this movie,
I would. I
know
really
there's
liked
2
it.
fans out there that probably would. Sorry.
I said I really liked it. You should probably watch it.
You should probably watch it just to tell Truman he's wrong.
Okay, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Because it's their time that they're wasting, not mine.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I kind of like this new. Well, I don't want to say new format because we're not going to do this forever. But maybe this will return in the future. This whole movie watching thing.
I might say that we will do it regularly, but not frequently. Not as frequently as other things. Well, maybe frequently, but not like. Maybe the opposite of what I just said, but it won't be every episode.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Of course not. There's got to be times for us to just chat.
Yeah.
Even though I can't think of anything that we can talk about, but
that's why we watched a movie.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's about all we have for this week. So we should probably wrap this up. So guys, we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
On the flip side.
Yeah. Phil, let's scowl at each other in this episode.
Yeah, they can't see it. We gotta make a sound face. No, they can see us scowling at each other.